Hello, welcome back to episode 4 of the Ruck and Roll Show. Luke isn't here this week. He is down in Oxford visiting his friends, but not to worry, because I have not one but two special guests with me. One will be coming along in a minute. But first of all, I'd like to introduce Doncaster's finest. Dominic Leach is with us. Say hello, Dom.
Hi everyone. Thanks for having me, Adam.
Not at all, not at all. Well, I could do with someone to bounce off with Luke not here to ganch on, like he does. But Dom, just a little intro to Dom. He's my co-head of sport at Cardiff University TV. We shameless plug there for our sister station, I guess you could say. Dom he studies French and Spanish, isn't that right, Dom? At Cardiff University, and he plays for Cardiff University's fours as a prop. But he's got a little injury at the minute, so
yeah, the season's taking a bit of a pause at the minute, but potentially an end as well. But
yeah,
unfortunate, but yeah, what can you do?
It is what it is, sprained your ankle, didn't you?
Yeah, a bit of a stupid one really. Decided to go for a run, do some exercise, and halfway through, just it goes.
Yeah,
it serves me right for trying to be healthy.
Trying to be healthy, yeah. Trying to go for a run. We'll just stick to the rugby, shall we?
I think so.
Yeah. So Dom, I think we'll start, or we usually start with our CURFC catch up. So Dom, you obviously watch a lot of the Cardiff Uni first team, which me and Luke obviously talk about, with probably not knowing as much as you do every single week. So maybe it's perhaps a uneducated opinion, but you can bring us in with a bit of education on the team. So Dom, what have you made of the season so far?
I think when you're comparing it to last season, it is quite different. There's been, the majority of the team who were there last year went on and moved on to bigger and better things, whether it was the end of their degree or professional contracts or whatever. So it has been a bit of a changing period as well, the change of director of rugby. So it's been a transition period this year, but I think the boys have dealt with it all very well. There's still leaders in that team who have been able to pick up the rest of the squad and like I say, bring them to a brighter side rather than kind of accepting defeat week on week, and fight for their place in the BSR and the Bucks Super Rugby League. So
yeah, obviously it is a tough competition, the Bucks. I mean, you see the wealth, you see the Bucks putting up on their Instagram page the amount of players that are actually selected for the Six Nations, so you can sort of see how tough the league is. I mean, we've got Sebastian Negri, we've got Stephen Varney, we got David Jenkins, obviously captain in Wales. He was only playing in the Bucks a couple of years ago, so it's a really, really tough competition. But I think from the boys, I've sort of seen, I don't profess to know everything about them and stuff like that, but I have seen improvement in recent weeks, especially with the results wise, with the Swansea, the big win away to Swansea, which was huge for this season, and especially the Cardiff clash, which we were both presented on.
Yeah.
And even down in Exeter, holding them out for that last 20 minutes, it's been an improvement in performances and results, as you've seen from the boys, and they've been able to sort of almost guarantee their place in the league next season. So what do you think this improvement's been down to, especially after Christmas and stuff like that?
I think, as I say, this year has been a transition period, so it was probably hard at first for the boys to get settled into a new coaching system, or at least an adapted coaching system, and potentially a different play style as well. I'm not in the training sessions. I don't know what goes on completely behind the scenes, but you hear from other boys who play in the first team, and their mindsets are still very much with the squad and with the vision that Chris Davies is putting out for them. But you can't hide that this year has been a struggle. I think it was won the first game of the season by 3 points against Beckett, and then to go on and win 6 games on the bounce, it was probably quite tough, I imagine, for them. But even as viewers, as I say, we finished the highest out of all the Welsh universities last season. So then to go from that and have a really positive season to this, it has been a bit of a shock to the system, I think. But
and they've got a couple of games left. I'm just looking at the fixtures.
Yeah,
now. They've got Durham away Durham at home next.
Yeah, Durham at home next week. We're on it. They took a break week this week, the whole league. So I think that'll be good for all clubs really to get back players that they potentially had a couple of niggles or whatever. But No, we've got Durham next week, Nottingham away, and then Bath at home on the final game of the season. So plenty of
couple winnable fixtures.
Yeah, I definitely think so.
And they're 7 points behind Leeds Beckett in the table, who are sitting in 7th place above us. Do you think we can sort of? Do you think there's any chance of finishing above them, or does it not really matter at this stage? We're just sort of staying in the division and sort of keeping out of that playoff. Going up and down playoff was the main thing.
Yeah, I think we're sitting in 8th at the minute, aren't we?
Yeah,
so
we're sitting in 8th for 20 points.
That still puts us in region of the playoffs. To go and play for the trophy at the end of the season, because you do like a first, fifth, 8th, second, 5th, 7th, etc., to then battle it off for like a separate trophy. I mean, Exeter have run away with this league completely this season. I think they've only lost 1 or 2 games, and they have just been really consistent. But again, with a university that has so much wealth and so much investment into its rugby, you'd expect them to be doing as well as they are doing. But no. To fight against Beckett, we could do it very easily. It's 7 points, in 3 games. It's doable. But if you look at their fixtures, they've got Swansea, Cardiff Met, and Exeter. So I think Swansea, because they're sitting in 10th, will be an easier victory for them compared to out of our 3 games. But Met and Exeter, I think, they don't really stand a chance. I mean, Beckett did beat Met earlier in the season.
Those are the sort of 2 sides that are sort of sitting at the top of the table there, really. Met, obviously, they lost to Durham last week. Was it?
Yeah, I think it might have been.
Something like that. They lost at home, which was unlike them, quite frankly. But yeah, couple of. I think they got a couple of winnable games sort of towards the end of the season. In terms of moving forward into the varsity, looking past the season, what do you think there's cause for optimism with this sort of recent improvement in performances? Obviously, we've got a couple of sort of freshers in the team. We've got Ollie Sterling, for example, who's been a stellar player for them this season. Do you think there's optimism going into varsity, and especially going into the future, maybe next season, maybe more of a settled side?
No, absolutely. I think for everybody who went and watched the game down in Swansea a couple of weeks ago, I think that was a massive lift for the club, for the first team boys, and just for all the members who went and watched, like I say, because we had many rainy days down at Lumrumney and not got the victories we felt we deserved, or not played to the best of our ability. But no, that game against Swansea was a massive eye-opener to show how good we are. I mean, 45-14 on Swansea's turf it's impressive. So I think going into varsity, yes, there will be optimism. There'll be a brighter side of optimism, considering that result and considering it will be Swansea that we play in April. But you focus on some of the players. Ollie Sterling, he's been a brilliant find this season. Other standouts, Theo Babakwa, he's been ace all season.
He's signed up with Cardiff Blues, isn't he?
I'm not sure what his deal is at the minute, but I'm sure he won't struggle to find a team come next year. I remember speaking to him earlier in the year, and he said maybe somewhere down in London. So yeah, but like I say, he won't struggle to find a club that wants him.
Yeah, so there's definitely signs for optimism in the future. We'll move on to your season, actually. Obviously, because we have you in here, and we like to know a bit about. You're the first guest we have on the show, but we like to know a bit about our guests, of course. How's your season gone? You play for Cardiff Uni 4s, isn't it?
Yeah. So technically, technically in the book system it's our 7s, but it's our 4th. It's 4th tier in the university that we count it as. But a fairly decent season. I haven't played as many games as I would have hoped, but when I have played, it's been really enjoyable. And considering being in my final year, it's been something that I've been savouring quite a lot and enjoying to the max. And there's nothing better really than playing a game with your mates and then going and enjoying a drink afterwards, whether you win or you lose, or a couple of drinks. Yeah, you never know. Yeah. But no, it's been a good season. We're staying in the same league, same division that we were at the start, so that's good. It's a good platform for the other boys to build off in the next season. But as well, this team was only brought back into the system this season, so yeah, it was a bit of a trial, and could actually still win some silverware because we're in final for I can't remember what the cup is, but yeah, we've got a final against Hartbury in Exeter in a couple of weeks, and
that'll be a tough one if Hartbury.
Oh yeah, we've played these Hartbury teams a couple of times, and they're pretty good. And like I say, it's like their first team as well. They're got a far more investment into their rugby system, and it goes to show. I mean, they've been flying this season as well. So yeah,
that's good. And obviously, this is your last year at university. Doing a masters, aren't you?
Not doing a masters, no. I'll retire to home and try and earn a bit of money somewhere there. But no, not doing a masters.
Yeah. So your last year. So would you be able to tell us about what it's like to play for Cardiff? The Cardiff rugby team, and sort of what you've enjoyed the most out of your experience. Because obviously these are some of the best days, in terms of rugby playing. Could you shed a bit of light on that?
Yeah, but I joined in 2020, and obviously that was COVID year as well. So there was no actual rugby played in my first year, but the second year came around and jumped straight into it, and it has just been the best time playing rugby for Cardiff. It gets a lot of stick, I think, in all universities as well, that rugby is just seen as a bit, it's quite harsh and with spraying and initiations or whatever. But I think this club, it's more than just playing rugby. It's the boys you meet along the way are special people, and there'll be people that for some of them you will be friends with for a lifetime, and you'll always have that. But no, it was the best decision I made to join the rugby club, and like I said, I've made hundreds of friends along the way, and I'll never forget any of that.
That's great. Any particular best matches or moments that you're a prop, but are you tight head or loose head?
I'm a loose head.
Loose head. There we go. Well, that's the one that does all the running. So
yeah, well, as much running as props do.
What would you say is your sort of strength? Have you got a good wee sidestep on you, like tag furlong?
Oh, absolutely not. No, I'm about as mobile as
head
any.
Straight.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's like the opposite of my rugby playing ability. It is just a bit of a dancer, a bit of a head stepper.
No, I get the ball and I kind of just tuck it into my arm and just hope for the best. Try not to get thrown back too far.
Try not to get mangled.
Yeah, pretty much. But no, I'm there as a team player mainly. Like I say, it's for me playing rugby is just about enjoying it with the people that you play with. So yeah, and I've just had a great time this year and the years gone by as well.
Fantastic. And just to finish off on our CURFC catch up, obviously the boys are in the Bucks League, the Bucks Premier Division, the firsts. How do you reckon that'll finish this year? Who do you think is going to win?
Exeter. Yeah. Like I say, they've got an unbelievable system. They've worked so closely with the Chiefs as well. I mean, like we were saying, Dafford Jenkins only left Exeter, I think, last year, maybe a year before. So it just goes to show that the system that they have in place is incredible, and they reap the seeds that they sow. But yeah, Exeter this season very good. As I said as well, Hartbury were very good this season.
Yeah, they've sort of built into the season, haven't they? Obviously their women's team's just won the National League. Yeah,
they won their Super League. I think Hartbury are on like a 9 or 10 game beat undefeated run. So
it really rose up the table.
Yeah, kudos to them.
Do you see? Obviously, you're not a big fan of the city rivals. Do you see the city rivals Cardiff Met? Do you see them causing any issues, or do you think they're sort of maybe just slightly off the pace a wee bit?
To be honest, I think the season's pretty much done. Exeter are 9 points ahead now, and with 3 games to go, when you're that far ahead in the table, I can't really see a way that they'll fall behind. But again, it's been a very good, well-fought league. The top 6 are all on 40 plus points, and then you've got the bottom 4 who are, struggling to touch 30 at the minute. So yeah, the gap is quite huge, clearly. But no, Exeter have just been far ahead of that as well.
That's all right. Well, that was our CURFC catch up, and our Bucks catch up as well.